Hello again, this is Ruth Med, the Executive Chair of Women on Boards, with Nicole Donegan and Victoria Featherby for this session of Get to Know WOB. So lovely to have you here. As I said, if you want to make a comment, there's the chat box in the top right-hand corner. I'm going to talk the first 8 or so slides, then Nicole will take over, and then at the end we'll have Q&A. So meant to be informal. If you want to turn your screens on, that would be nice if you think you've got the internet space. So here we go. Get to know WOB. All right, I'm the Executive Chair of Women on Boards, and with my colleague Claire Braun started the business here in Australia in 2006. Prior to that, we were a not-for-profit sort of worthy group of volunteers. We started the business in the UK in 2012 on the back of a Churchill Fellowship that Claire secured. And so we have members in 85 countries, and we have about 50,000 people on our website, give or take a few thousand, probably add on a few thousand probably. So why did we start Women on Boards? And we started it because we wanted to be the change we wanted to see in the world, which is essentially getting more women into leadership. And that is a picture of the In the Black magazine from the CPAs, Certified Practicing Accountants, which Claire and I seem to be regular people on their front page because they've taken quite an active interest in women on boards, getting more women into leadership roles for their membership base. So they're a very forward-looking organisation as regards women. So how do we operate? We're basically inclusive, we're innovative, and we're local and global. So anybody at all is welcome to become a member of Women on Boards and to join the network and the camaraderie that we offer. So thank you very much for coming on this session today. Our vision, which hasn't changed from the day we started, is to increase the number of women on boards and in leadership roles, to achieve a gender balance of 40% women, 40% men, and 20% of either and or other genders. And that has been our objectives from the very beginning. And it's pleasing to say that boards in Australia, generally speaking, but not exclusively, have achieved that 40% target or are close to it. So we're pretty pleased with what we've managed to achieve to date. And of course, the challenge is still there, in my view, to get women onto more, I hesitate to use the word prestigious board, but boards that pay money, because we do have to live, and boards that run businesses. Okay, so that's our vision. And how do we do it? That's a sculpture that sits in our office in Gosford. And this was one of the donations we made to a local fundraiser. And our reward was to have a sculpture. And the sculptress had a chat to Claire and produced that sculpture. It's very nice if you want to drop into our office. And the theme of the sculpture is the woman you are, the woman you were, and the woman you will become. So that's a nice tagline for it if you're into art. And that's the network. The network says a hand up, a hand out, a hand down, whatever. Multifaceted and supportive to all the network members. So welcome to the network. Okay, next slide. We've got 3 prongs to our operations. Essentially, we do advocacy, because if you don't get the issue in the public arena, you can't sort of marshal the support, latent though it was in the initial stages, to give support to more women in leadership roles. We run facilitation events or educational events or whatever you'd like to call them to basically improve the chances of our members getting onto boards. And to complete the picture, we run a jobs board. So it's a bit like the management cycle in auditing. You've got a strategy, you've got an operational plan, you deliver something and you account for it. So that's remit. But this slide is about some of our advocacy work. So clearly we advocate for 40-40-20 gender balance. And we do that via a variety of ways, but in particular, we have a boardroom diversity index, which catalogues the successes of getting more women into board roles in some 16 categories, and it's on our website. And so you can see the progress from 2010 to date if you're interested in the data. And there's also all the lists of the companies and organisations that comprise the BDI. So if you're going hunting for board roles, that's not a bad place to look. We have obviously advocated for transparency and accountability in board recruitment. So members of WOB get access to the jobs on the jobs board. We encourage organisations to advertise their vacancies in one shape or form, not necessarily with us. And I think that's a trend that you've seen over the years, that where board vacancies were hidden, they're now a lot more transparent. And that is partly a function of the rise of job sites on the internet. So there's a range of places you can go and look for board roles, or alternatively come to the website where we curate a list of roles that are suitable for our members. What else do we do? The gender impact of the federal budget. We support that in conjunction with our sister organisation, the National Foundation for Australian Women. We've been very active in putting policy positions concerning childcare, paid parental leave. We supported the reform of the Workplace Gender Equality Act. We've produced things like the gender balance in global sports reports in conjunction with our colleagues in the UK. And we're very active in advocating regarding the gender pay gap. I mean, the premise is unless you close the gender pay gap, women will never have the opportunity to retire with good superannuation balances, will never have the opportunity to do a whole range of other things. So that's some of our advocacy work. And usually when you get our weekly e-news, which comes out usually on a Monday night or a Tuesday morning, there'll be some advocacy item there. This week there was a sort of slightly tongue-in-cheek article, but not entirely, about women and all male clubs, which you may agree with or not, that's your prerogative, but it was fairly entertaining. We try and put the pros and the cons of issues, so that's on the front of our website if you want to have a look. Okay, next up, I think the next topic is your pathway to directorship, and I'm just going to talk for 2 seconds and then hand over to Nicole. So next slide, please. So this is your opportunity to put into the chat box whether you are on any boards or committees. You can either put yes or no, or you can list what they are. So have the chance to put something into the chat box. That's at the top corner, and you click on it and it says chat. Are you on any boards and committees? Let us know. So we've got some feel for who's here in the audience.
Yep,
so off you go.
And there's no right or wrong answer. You don't have to be on a board or committee to be part of Women on Boards. So
school committee, that's a committee.
Yep, no board yet, but schools, not on a board. On a government regulatory board, previous NFP, yes, on government committees, committee boards.
Well, that's excellent. Almost everybody seems to be on a committee of some sort or a board.
Yes.
Somebody not at this stage, that's Meg, but that's okay. We'll see what we can do for you. So at this point, I will hand over to Nicole, who's going to talk a bit more about what we have to offer. So over to you, Nicole.
Thank you, Ruth, and welcome everybody. Lovely to see you all here today. So essentially, one of the key things that Women on Boards tries to do is help you on your board journey. And we find that we really have women at 3 key stages of that journey. We have women at the very beginning who have never been on a board or committee and are looking to start their board journey. Then we have those sort of in the middle that have maybe dabbled and had some board and committee experience, but would like to increase that or change what they're doing. And then at the other end, we have highly experienced directors who have been with the WOB network for a very long time on ASX boards and very, portfolio careers. And these are the wonderful women in the network who are always very willing to help and share and mentor our younger members. So we really do cater to each of those groups. And to do that, we have a range of programs, workshops, networking opportunities designed to help you on that journey. The first critical step is particularly for those who are very new to boards or have dabbled on a board and committee but aren't sure of the next step in their direction. You might have sort of inadvertently been roped into a board or committee and thought, oh, this is not too bad. I do like doing this, but I'm not sure what the next step is if I want to take this more seriously or get onto a different board or committee. Is our Getting Started program. And this is really our signature workshop that was developed many years ago by Claire and Ruth. That is the starting point on any board journey. And it outlines for you what's involved in being a director, so you really understand. And I know that some people often get onto boards and they're actually not really too familiar with what they're supposed to be doing, because you can get, I know that my first board, I was actually quite roped into it and I didn't really know what was involved. So it can be a bit of an eye-opener. It's an understanding what is what's involved in being on a board, the different opportunities available, sort of different marketplaces, and helping you to get a little roadmap for yourself so that you can navigate your own board journey. So it's run over 2 sessions. It used to be face-to-face, and then with COVID, we moved it online totally. And the online is a mixture of self-help on demand. So you have a few little introductory videos that are really good information videos. Then you come together over 2 different lunchtime webinars for the online version. But we are slowly reintroducing the face-to-face. We had our first face-to-face last week in Sydney, which was lovely to be back with Claire and Ruth presenting that. And that's held in one morning session. And generally where we can, we follow that by a director lunch where we have often a keynote speaker and up to about 20-25 members come together for a lunch for networking and general discussion. So if you are looking to join or take the next step, that is the thing that we recommend that you do first. Financial literacy is a key skill that all board directors need to have. And it's often one that daunts many of them and can be quite perturbing, but you do have many fiduciary duties as a director, and understanding and being able to sign off on reports is critical because you have a high degree of liability. So you need to understand what you're reading and know which questions to ask to get to the bottom of those reports. So we run a great financial literacy series with Grant Thornton, which they present. It used to be face-to-face again, but again with the advent of COVID went online, and that's proved successful. It's run over two sessions again, and with some really great case studies to help you really delve into understanding how to read financial reports and have a level of confidence that you can actively participate in board meetings and not feel like you're asking silly questions, which we say there are actually no silly questions. So that's a really, really important webinar for directors. Our marketplace for directors is another series that we have where we focus on different segments in directorships, and we have one coming up for government boards, which really delves deeply into what is involved in being on a government board, the types of government boards that are available, and the steps that you can take to proactively get onto a government board. And getting onto a government board, and Ruth will attest to this, is often a very different process to getting onto a private equity board or a not-for-profit board, a membership board, or an ASX board. It's a completely different process. So we outline that process in detail if that's what you're thinking. And many of you said in the chat that you are on government boards. Government boards are actually a great place for directorships. Many of them do pay. So it's always a good start. Now, Build Your Board CV is another one of our signature courses that we believe is critical if you are in the directorship market. Many of you would be aware that a board CV is very different to a career CV. I'm on a nominations committee, and so is Ruth. And if you're trying to recruit for directors, delving into their director skills is really a key challenge quite often. So a board CV is really about outlining in a clear, succinct manner the skills you bring to the board table. It does refer to your career credentials, but the focus of it is to actually put forward the skills that you can bring to a board, so that a nominations committee who may receive many hundreds of applications can see how your skills directly apply to the skills that they're trying to fill on that board. This is run again by webinar. It used to be run face-to-face. I think I feel like a bit of a broken record saying this, and we will look to reintroduce this as a face-to-face, but this is run over 2 sessions where I hope you can't hear that drilling. Can anybody hear drilling in the background? No, it's only me. Oh, that's good. I had somebody unexpectedly turn up to do some work. I'm working from home today. So this of our board CV is run over 2 sessions and with some work done in between so that you can come back and help workshop that with, generally it's always run by Claire and Ruth. And if you can't find the time to do that, we also have an on-demand Build Your CV workshop where you can fully undertake the course by yourself in a modular sense. We use a training platform called Thinkific, and it takes you through a series of steps where you actually build your CV according to a template and ensures that you incorporate all the information that you need. And then at the end, we build in a review with that so that you can actually get somebody to have a look at it for you. So, but a CV is really critical if you are looking to getting onto a board so that you can make sure that you are noticed. In addition to this, we have a range of other courses and networking sessions to help you build your network and your capability. Our director lunches, which I alluded to earlier, that we are now back reintroducing. We just had one in Sydney and we have one in Melbourne coming up with Margot Foster, which will be fantastic. I think that's in 2 weeks. It was meant to be last week, but we had to change that. And these are full member only events. You need to be a member to come along to these because they're highly sought after, where we have a director come along and share their experience. And they're really great so that you can actually see how other people have managed situations, how they've learned along the way. And as I said earlier, our network is very generous and always willing to share to help each other. So our Making It Real is a series that we have available that Claire and Ruth put together to help you understand key aspects about getting on a board. We have our, sorry, I've gone one too far. We have, let me just go back one. We have directorship courses that we offer through a partnership we have with the Governance Institute. At Women on Boards, we are not about teaching you pure governance skills. We are about helping you get onto a board, growing your board career, enhancing your board journey and your network. The pure governance training, we have partnered, as I said, with the Governance Institute, and they have a range of short courses that you can do to fill gaps in any knowledge that you have. And these short courses can actually then build to give you an accreditation at the end. A lot of them are along the lines of the AICD course, and we often get asked, should I do AICD if I want to be a director? There's really no right or wrong answer to that. To this, it is very expensive. I think it's about $15,000 to do now. And so I would consider that very carefully if I was going to be doing that. And it doesn't guarantee that you will be on a board, that you'll get onto a board. If you see AICD, it doesn't mean you will necessarily be put to the front of the queue. When nominations committees are reviewing people for roles, they look at a whole range of things. That might be a credential, but often it's your network, it can be your skills, a whole range of other things. So the Governance Institute courses are a really great starting point and can help you develop an understanding. And the other thing I would probably say about AICD, it's good to have some context and have had some board experience probably before you do it so that you understand what they're talking about because it can be quite a bit greenfield. We have webcasts that you can purchase on demand. We have an end of financial year one that I'm just about to publish this week that goes through, that we ran a couple of weeks ago that you can purchase to watch in your own time. We also have a LinkedIn series that you can buy on demand that can help. It's a great series that we ran with Karen Tisdale, our LinkedIn partner. We've actually just run our second series. The first series was about how you actually set up your profile and undertake connections, which was really great. And we all learned a lot at WOB because there's a whole lot of things in there that were really quite a mystery. But once you understand the way LinkedIn works, it's a fantastic tool. And then we just ran another series about 4 weeks ago about the changes on LinkedIn and the whole range of new features that are available. We also have another partnership with the Social Index where you can actually undertake a report to find out what your digital footprint is. So if you do a Google search or how do you show up, so this is I think it's $220, and you can have that done, and then you get a report at the end advising you on the next step. So that's a great discount if you're looking to do that. Okay, we have other events too. We have a new member orientation. If you do decide to join, we will take you through the ropes and show you what you need to do to make the most of your membership. One of the key things that I find at Women on Boards trying to convey the journey is that we have so much to offer. You've just got to make sure that people understand what it is. So we have a 1 hour session at lunchtime where we take you through the website, we take you through all the different things that are available and hopefully demystify it for you. We have WOB chats once a fortnight, and these are great free member-only events where we have a guest speaker, or they're facilitated by Ruth or Claire, where we have interactive networking. So they're done one of two ways. The next one we have coming up, I think, is practicing your pitch, and we also have one where we're meeting recruiters. So we have some great WOB chats coming up. The practice your pitch one is fantastic. It's about really refining your elevator pitch. If you meet somebody in the lift and you've got an opportunity to put your best foot forward, what do you actually say about yourself? And this is a challenge that many people really do struggle with. So learning how to practice your pitch and what you say, so that if you have an opportunity, you can actually seize it. Director Dilemmas, these are run by our partner in partnership with Julie Garland-McClellan, who is a very experienced director. And these are run on the basis that we take 2 case studies. So they run over a 1 lunchtime session, and they're based on real board issues that have been faced by people that Julie knows in her capacity as an advisor to board members. And really sticky issues, and you delve through, you get the case study in advance, and then during this session there's discussion on how would you actually handle this, because often there's no right or wrong answers in handling a number of board situations, and they can range from reviewing financials to dealing with internal politics to conflicts of interest. They're really far reaching, and they're really good to get a sense of different things you can face as a board member and different ways of approaching them. And then at the end, Julie would gives you her take on how she would actually handle it, and then you get some feedback from Julie in a written format after the session, with how she would handle it. We have a wonderful platform called WOBshare, which is our online member forum where you can actually connect and talk with other people. LinkedIn, I think, used to be a lot like that, where you can be in groups and chat to one another, and we do have a LinkedIn group that we encourage you to join, but we are quite we monitor it quite carefully, because we get a lot of people wanting to put posts on there that are really probably not what our members want, like if you've got menopause, would you want to use some tablets, or do you need life coaching, or things that we don't think they may be of value to some people but not really what we're all about. So we monitor it quite carefully, but our WOBshare is really a free forum that members can talk to one another about on different topics of discussion. And you might raise a question, and then other members will come in and give you feedback and advice. Sometimes members will even post board roles on there. There was a board director role on a bank some time ago that couldn't actually go to market, but it was put within the confines of the WOB network. So that was very good as well. So that's a great tool. We also have our WOBSX program, which is a specific program that we run that's chair-led to help women get onto ASX boards. This is for the more experienced director, and it is by not everybody is automatically accepted upon application. Our moderator of the program, or manager of the program, Dan, would review any application and come back to you whether he thinks you're ready or not. And if you're not ready, he would say, maybe give it a year or two and do A, B, and C, because we want to take people on this program who we believe are really ripe to go into ASX board roles. And if we think you need some more experience, we would say that. And My Mentor is a fantastic program that has been getting a lot of uptake lately, where it's a one-on-one mentor that you are matched with. We look at what your specific needs are and what you're looking to achieve, your background, and we match you with one of our raft of mentors to help you achieve your goals. And it can be 2, 4, 6, 8 sessions, really depending on your needs and what you want to get out of it. But that's also a great way of moving up the board ladder. Okay, board and committee positions. Did you want to talk about this, Ruth?
I can do that. Yes.
Okay.
Now, board and committee positions. Companies can post for free on our jobs board. The vacancies are emailed to you every week. We offer a bit of help and support when applying for roles. And apparently we're going to look at the WOB jobs board. Can we do that? Do I share my screen, or are you going to set it up, Nicole?
Oh, I'm just trying to get into it. I don't think I can for some reason.
Okay, let's see how I share my screen. Screen. Okay, that's the one I want to share, and I'll share that. So, that's what it looks like. Now, I hope you can see it. Somehow or other, my screen is shrunk, but that's all right.
No, it looks good.
You can see it. Okay, all right. So that's our jobs board. I, every couple of weeks, do a little podcasty thing on what's interesting on the jobs board, and I'm doing one after this session today. But so I'll run through what I was going to say, perhaps to you. This particular session on what's on the WOB's jobs board, what is on the WOB jobs board, was meant to show the incredibly broad collection of things that are available. So, for example, rural livestock New Zealand. Now, we've got a good number of members in New Zealand. This board wants a New Zealander, so don't dash and apply for that. Helping Hand is an aged care provider run by the Uniting Church in South Australia. They're looking for board members, and they're looking for people who know something about aged care, but also property development and finance. So they're into building things and making sure the money doesn't go astray. What else have we got? Energy and Water Ombudsman of New South Wales. This is one of the very many joint industry consumer bodies that have been set up. There's hordes of them. This is to do with water and energy complaints that get referred to this organisation, and they are looking for a consumer rep. So it's a body that's got a board which is a mix of industry reps and consumer reps, so that might be quite interesting to some of you. Then we've got the independent committee member for the court services in Victoria. They, I think, have taken on the challenge of trying to reduce harassment and poor HR practices in the court system in Victoria. And the headhunter who's doing the search here emailed me and said, this is a really interesting role. I think she meant possibly quite challenging. So they are looking for somebody who knows something about policies for change, human resources at a strategic level, etc., etc. So that's just a few examples of what's on the jobs board. About half of them are paid roles, slightly more usually. About 20% pay expenses, and the rest are not-for-profits. There's some organisations that will never pay their directors a fee, like arts boards are pretty famous for that, but government boards generally pay their directors. So the trick is, think about applying for something and give it a go. Now, I don't know what I do next, Nicole, because I can't see the slides at this point because I'm sharing my screen. Yeah, let's get back into it.
Yep.
Yeah,
okay,
I'm back,
great.
back in action.
So
that was that. And okay, so the next thing I was going to say is we have on the front page of our website the WOB quiz. So if you're completely bemused by what I've just said with the long list of vacancies, do the WOB quiz, answer 4 simple questions, and we'll tell you what you're suited to, perhaps. Give it a go, basically. It's a load of fun, invented by me, based on all the analytics we've collected over the years, and you'll be quite surprised what it comes up with. So that's the WOB quiz. And I think someone's asked me, yeah, Roxy to everybody has said that the jobs board is available for paying members only. That is true.
That's correct.
We operate a reverse recruitment business model. If you want to get yourself a director, you might go to a search firm and you'll pay them money. What we do here is we permit the people with the vacancies to put it up for free, and we charge those that want to have a look at it. So we have to pay the staff somehow.
Yes.
I've
And
got
so
another question. Yeah.
Yes, you about the CV template. Did you want to answer that, Ruth?
Yeah, there is a CV template on the website, and once again, you have to be a paid member to get access to it. It's under Resources, CV, and there's a whole lot of templates there. There's cover letters, there's CVs, and a range of other things. So that's provided also. Yeah.
Yes, but that's different to the Build Your Board CV course that I spoke about before. There's templates, and they're quite at a basic level, but our Build Your Board CV online course is not thousands of dollars. I think it's 330 off the top of my head, and you can do it at your own pace. So I think,
yeah.
But we'll put that in the follow-up email for everybody.
Okay, next slide. I think I've done my bit, I suspect.
Yes. The next slide is we encourage. Can you see?
No, can't see it. Needs moving along, I think.
Oh, it should be there. Do the board quiz. Do the quiz. Nobody can see that.
Yeah, I can see that, but we need the next slide, I think.
Oh, okay. Did we ask people to do the quiz?
Yeah, we have. We've asked them to do the quiz.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, okay, and that's success stories. So we try and keep a track of people who get board roles. The trick is you need to tell us when you get a role, either off our jobs board or more generally. And that's just some of the examples of people that have been successful recently. So there you go.
It is. And on our website, up the top, on the top menu, there's an About. If you look under there, there's success stories, and we have a whole lot of lessons from the boardroom, and there's sort of interviews with members, and we also list all the members that have told us of their recent appointments. And in our newsletter each week that comes out on a Monday, we try and list all of the members that have told us about their recent successes as well. We like to share it, and we'll often share them also on social media to really give our members a bit of a push and to celebrate their success. But we get far-ranging, membership successes. So just going over what we provide to help you on your board journey. We've got a whole range of offerings to help you with your professional and personal development, to develop skills to be on boards, a framework to help you consider being on board and committee roles, and that's starting with our Getting Started program, our Build Your Board CV, our Marketplace for Directors. We also have other supportive networking sessions like WOB Share, and they are now designed specifically to give you an opportunity to network within the session. So we generally always have a speaker come along, but then we go off into chat groups, and you actually get to talk to other members. So it's a really great informal way of meeting other members in a non-daunting manner. So you can help cultivate those relationships. We provide support and assistance to get onto board roles. I know that Ruth often gets calls and emails from people, and she always very readily gives her opinion, advice and assistance if people need it. So we're there to help you. We have a network of highly connected current and aspirant female directors who want to help other members of women on boards. It is really a network of reciprocity, and those women that have been with members of women on boards for very many years do want to give back. And I've been in functions with very senior WOBSX directors who just say that their favourite part of their current professional life is coming to sessions to mentor and give back to other members. So it's a really wonderful, rich and nourishing network. And from my perspective, as one of my key roles is to help communicate the benefits of women on boards. That's the one I find the hardest to actually quantify and qualify, that people can understand. You sort of have to be part of it to actually really understand it. So become a member. We encourage you to do so before the end of the financial year. It's normally $220 to join. If you join with the code that you'll get at the end of this, it will be $198 with a 10% discount, available until the end of the financial year. And you can do, and there are other levels of membership, but we encourage you to join as a full member, and I'll go into the special offer here. So we are actually raising the join price from the 1st of July. It will be $299 to join. So with the special offer, if you join now, there'll be a $100 discount. it's not 200, and once the price goes up to join, it won't be $299 every year to maintain your membership. It will be, the renewal price will be $199 under auto renewal. So once you join, there's that extra fee that you pay as a joining cost, but then the renewal price is actually going to be set at $199 for auto renewal. And we are moving to auto renewal, so we'll make it much easier for members so that you can just sort of plug in your details and you won't need to worry about it going forward, and it's just less than a cup of coffee a week. So you'll get, you just go in to the shopping cart and put the EOFY21 and you'll get membership for $198. We also have a whole range of corporate packages available. So if you work in a corporate organisation, we encourage you to get your corporates involved, because if you are part of a corporate, then your membership is generally covered by the corporate. And we have different levels from gold, silver, bronze, or to a lighter sort of dip your toe in the water type membership, where we offer lots of training and supportive networks targeted to that specific organisation's needs. So if you do have, you are part of an organisation that you think could benefit from getting senior women leaders involved in Women on Boards, please give us a hoy and we can go through the program with you. We encourage you to register for events once you join. We always think that members are sort of hot to trot once they first sign up, so it's always good to sort of set your first 6 months up if you can as quickly as you can, so that you stay motivated. And if you do that, the key events that we suggest are the member orientation, which is really essential to make sure that you do understand what we provide and why we provide it. Director's Dilemma is a really good workshop to attend so that you can understand how boards operate and problems that are faced. Getting started and the Build Your Board CV are really good starting places for your board journey. We also have a wonderful Women in Leadership program, and we've just been running a part of this morning for the Solomon Islands. We run this as a bespoke program for the CPAs, and I think they've put more than 100 people through it now. And part of that is we're doing that for the Solomon Islands this morning, and we are running a non-CPA one as well at the moment, and we've got a second cohort of non-CPA starting in October. And this consists of 9 modules where we help you really delve into what you want out of your career and to manage your career from your personal perspective. It's run predominantly by Sheena Wilson, who is a key mentor and leader, CEO of BNY Mellon in India. She set it up over there, and she takes you through a whole series of stages where you can actually get your career plan on a page. We also do presentation skills, help you understand the difference between being a manager and a board member, what's the difference between being operational and strategic. So there's a whole range of sessions. If you go onto our website, the Women in Leadership program is in the events section and you can look at the syllabus, but it's a really great program to help you find your own direction and set your direction for the next 5 to 10 years. And I sound like I'm giving us a lot of praise here, but it really has been getting some fantastic reviews. I think it got a 4.9 out of 5 in value for money from the CPAs, and they're a hard market to crack, value for money, aren't they, Ruth? So
don't talk to me about my fellow accountants.
No, but they really like a lot of value. So yes,
they do. Yes, yeah.
They do. Yes. So, yeah. Okay. Are there any questions?
If you'd like to turn off mute and speak to us, we'd be delighted to have a question. Sandra, are you wanting to ask a question? You're on speak mode.
Yes, I was just going to ask a question about contributions for e-news. I'm just wondering if you seek contributions from members in terms of content.
We haven't to date, but if you want to send us one, we'll consider it. It needs to be sort of on topic. It's good to give us a bit of advance notice because we do manage the schedule sort of going forward. And like many newsletters, it sometimes suffers from having too many items to be presented. But Nicole puts it together. Nicole supervises the putting together of e-news. What do you think, Nicole?
Look, we always welcome possible contributions, but we can't guarantee. So it's not something we guarantee being a member. But if you've got something, definitely we would consider it.
Thanks. Okay, no, it's fine. I understand. I've edited a few magazines myself, so I know that you have to
Yes.
manage
Yes.
contributions. That's fine. Okay, thank you.
Yes. Yep.
Okay, Roxy, I think, wants to talk to us. Hello, Roxy, you've got your microphone on. Someone's asked, can you have a recorded copy of the session? Yes, that gets sent around
It does.
after the session to everybody, okay?
It does. It does.
Yeah. Okay. Any more questions? Natalie
Yes,
Hesketh.
hello. Thank you. Thanks for your presentation today. I was just wondering if you can comment on whether or not MBAs are actually necessary as part of this, because I get confused when I'm reading things online about becoming on a board.
I'm not sure MBAs are necessary for anything in particular. They're certainly not necessary to become a board member. Clearly, you've got to persuade the chairman, who usually does the recruiting, that you're going to add value to a particular board. And clearly, it's useful to have a range of governance skills, like, you know, you can read basic financials, you understand directors' duties, you understand risk, but then you need some additional skills, and strategies often wanted, or as I mentioned about helping hand, they want people who know something about property development. So it really depends what you've got to offer, Natalie. I always say to people, if you've had no board experience, no committee experience, even, you know, committees at work, then you might need to consider professional development to give yourself something on your CV. But I don't normally mention MBAs. Is that okay, Natalie?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, Karen is, sorry.
Sorry, there's just a question.
No?
That's
So
right.
someone's asked the question, how do we work with diverse communities? We have a cultural diversity group, which in fact Nicole is now a member of. I was initially when it was set up. So over to Nicole.
Yes, how we work with diverse communities. We're doing a whole lot of research on this at the moment, and we'll be introducing a policy statement. The committee's been going for about 6 months now, so we're looking at things that organisations can do to work with diverse communities. We are an active and inclusive organisation, and we welcome all members. So from that perspective, we work with diverse communities. I'm not sure what more you would like to know about that. Have I answered that to meet your needs? No?
Okay, a couple more questions. Who should we speak to about the Getting Started program? Well, there's a fair bit of information on the website. If you want to ring up the office, you can have a chat to them. There's a question about, do we offer scholarships for some of our paid workshops? Yes, we generally do. Women in Leadership, I think this time has got 2 scholarship places on it, on the public program. That's our policy, and we usually have some criteria for who we want to give the scholarships to, okay?
That's right. Are there special committees to represent disabled people? There often are, and often boards, but Ruth's probably better to speak to this than me, are looking to be representative. So if you are looking to be on a board and you have a disability, it would be worth stating that on your board CV so that they could understand the perspective you can bring.
Also, there are regularly postings on our website that want people who have lived disability experience. And there's one at the moment, and I just can't find it. It's called the Disability Trust of New South Wales, and their principal criteria is that you have experience of disability, either as a carer or a person with a disability. And that happens regularly, so keep a lookout for those. We've got this wonderful aura here on our screens. Let's have a look. We're getting lots of questions. Thank you very much indeed. Roxy wants to know more about inclusion and diversity. Well, I suggest you have a look on the website for some of the articles, or give somebody a buzz. I'm not sure I'm here to give you a long lecture about inclusion and diversity, other than to say, clearly, WOB is a very inclusive organisation that pushes the view that diversity on boards is a really beneficial thing for the organisations and the shareholders if they have them, or the society in general, if that's the case.
Yes, and somebody asked about the join code for the discount. Yes, that will be emailed to everybody. And about in terms of getting started and registering for events, everything can be done on our website. So if you go into the shopping cart, you can select what you want to do and do it all online. Once you register, you'll get a confirmation. We will also send you reminders about when it's on. And if you do register to go to an event, and you will also get a recording afterwards. So if you go to the Getting Started event or our LinkedIn events, and you want to review it later, you will always have the recording so that you can look at it when you need to. Do we provide discounts to diverse communities? Generally, our pricing is very reasonable, so it's the standard price. Would you agree with that, Ruth?
Yeah, apart from the scholarships, and we often fashion our criteria for scholarships in a way that, in fact, is attractive to diverse communities.
Yes, yes. And can you apply the?
Sorry, and we also have a focus on rural, regional, and remotes.
Yes. The scholarships are available. They're based on certain programs, and it's a select number that that the board predetermines before each program. So they're usually available for our women in leadership at the moment, but that may change over time. Yes, and the discount code at this stage is only available for joining. But look, if you have a chat to me, if you have joined, we might be able to give you that discount towards our Getting Started program if you missed it for joining. So we will let you know.
Okay. So each program has 2 scholarships at the moment. The Women in Leadership program has 2 scholarships at the moment. Yes.
Yes.
Out of 20, I think. That's
correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, it's coming up to 12:50. Is there any final questions? Let's getting lots of thank yous in the comment sheet. So I think we're just about done. Thank you everyone for attending. As I said, you'll get an email with a copy of the presentation, a link to it, and the discount code. Anything from you, Nicole?
No, that's it. But thank you for coming, everybody. We really appreciate your time, and we welcome you to the WOB network.